I finished working my notice yesterday. I did my last shift at work and then I went home and now I'm unemployed. And it's okay, it's great because I got to the point where I fully hated my job and going in every day was just really soul destroying. I would sit on the train and I would just think like, I cannot do this anymore. This is the worst possible move for my mental health. So yeah, it got really, really bad. And obviously in this current climate, it's kind of crazy to not hold on to your job because the job market is so insane. I'm not sure about universally, but at least here in the UK, it's so competitive. You can apply for like 2,000 jobs. Maybe that's an exaggeration. You can apply for like 200 jobs on Indeed and stuff like that and just never even get a reply, not even like a sorry you didn't make the cut. You just don't get a response from these jobs. So I should be more scared. I'm not yet. Maybe I will be soon, but for now I'm just too happy. I'm too excited about the prospect of not doing that commute anymore because it would involve going to Euston, and anyone who goes to central London will probably agree that Euston is the worst station in London, possibly the UK. It's so always crowded, everything's always delayed. They have a weird obsession with announcing the trains like 5 minutes before they depart, so everyone is doing like a mad rush to the platforms. So it's just terrible. I would pull in, like my train would get to Euston in the morning and I would sit there and just watch the whole crowd fight their way through the barriers because it would be like, it wasn't quite peak times, but it was like the train did get full. So I would sit on the train. I liked to wait until nearly everyone had gone through already and just go in afterwards because I'm not about just being in a big old crowd. And I think that's what got to me too. The sun is so like bright right now. It's really, really nice. Ooh. I thought it might be nice to film with like the direct sun lighting, but it would burn my retinas. So I'm gonna have to stay over here in the shade. Whatever I was saying. Yes, I would always wait until everyone else had kind of already gone through and there were only very few people left at the station. And then I reluctantly get up and grab my stuff and be like, okay, another day. Let's do it, I guess. And it sucked. It just was not it. So yeah, I quit. I handed in my notice and I was like, I'd rather deal with unemployment for the foreseeable than no. It's like that thing people say, no it isn't, it's the opposite of that thing people say. People say, to deal with the devil you know, but I fucking hate the devil I know, so I'm gonna find a different devil and maybe I'll hate him enough that I'll find a job really quickly. But that's not even what this video is supposed to be about. I've talked about pretty much how much I hated my job, but that's not it. This is unemployment affirmations. They're for me, because there's my video, but I think if you found yourself in a kind of similar position, maybe you just quit your job, you're a bit adrift, you don't know what you're doing with your life, maybe you're a bit scared. I'm not scared yet. I'm too delusional to be too scared yet. Give it like 2 weeks, 3, I might get there. But I think I'm fortunate enough that I do have a little financial, not big. I've got maybe 3 months at max before I have to get scared. I have to scare myself into action. Yeah, having that does make it less scary. So I recognize my privilege there. Not everyone can just quit their job when it gets really hard. So I understand that. My unemployment affirmations, I think it can be really, really easy to send yourself spiraling immediately. I think as soon as you have nothing to do, I do pretty well with having no routine. Like I can really get behind, having nothing to do, because for me, having nothing to do is having everything to do. The world is your oyster then. Because I haven't got to go to work, I can sit on my sofa, I can crochet all day, I can play the guitar, I can play video games, I can make art, I could go out, I could join a dance class. It's, for me, lack of structure is kind of the invitation of opportunity, which I really like. I don't need structure too badly in my life, but I know a lot of us do, and that's absolutely fine. We're just a bit different. But that being said, I'm not immune to the fear of wasting my time. So I think the biggest unemployment affirmation for me personally would be to not be too hard on myself when I'm not being productive. You know, I've been unemployed for one day now. Today's my first day of unemployment. It's been fairly productive. Like, I cleaned my bathroom and I started therapy just because I've wanted to do therapy for a very long time, and now I have the time to do it. So, you know, why not do it immediately? I also went grocery shopping, and then I came home and my mind was racing about things like, okay, now that you're unemployed, you have to figure your whole life out. You have to know what you want to do. You have to look for a new job. You have to find something productive to fill your time. You can't just sit on the sofa and watch YouTube. You need to find something. You need to find it fast. You need to organize all of your goals now, whether that's in relation to making videos or making art or starting a business or trying a new craft. I was just sitting there like, I need to do something. And then what happened was I thought too hard about reinvention, about how I was going to be the best version of myself. I was thinking, what do I really want from life? And as I sat there on the sofa, like, it's like the first sunny day all year here in England, and I felt the sun on my face. I just closed my eyes and imagined I was on like a beach holiday, or that I was in like a nice grassy meadow, just, you know, peak summer, just laying down, maybe hearing like the wind and distant birds. And I was like, yeah, that's what I want, because that's what I was doing. I was trying to imagine what I wanted most in the world from life. I don't think it's that. I think that's close. But as I was laying there on my sofa, feeling the sun on my skin with my eyes closed, I fell asleep. And when I woke up, I got really, really annoyed at myself. I was only asleep for like an hour, but I hate napping. It's one of those things that really annoys me, because I have this weird thing, which I can't find anything else about online, which is really annoying. But when I take a nap and I wake up, I have like morning breath, but permanently. Like, until I have my big sleep in the evening, it just sticks with me. Like, I can brush my teeth, mouthwash, chewing gum, mints. I can go eat like a meal, but then after my meal, it just creeps back in. My mouth just slowly deteriorates back into that nap aftertaste. That's really annoying. So I really hate when I fall asleep accidentally, which is a lot because I'm quite a sleepy girl. So if I'm sat on the sofa watching a movie any time of day, odds are I'm gonna fall asleep at some point, which is quite frustrating. I don't know why I do that. If anyone has any suggestions to why or like, I guess if you are a sofa fall asleeper like myself, and you've found some way to combat it, let me know, because fake energy doesn't work on me either. Like, I could drink 4 energy drinks and feel maybe a slight buzz, if that. I don't really have anything that makes me feel more awake. Like, maybe a shower might do it. Like, a slightly colder shower might make me feel more awake when I'm out of it. But if I'm feeling really, really tired, a coffee, an energy drink, a caffeinated beverage, none of those things are going to do anything for me, at least not like mentally. Maybe physically they might be doing something, but I don't feel it. I don't get any sort of increase in energy when I drink an energy drink. I got way off topic. What was I supposed to be talking about? I fell asleep and that annoyed me because I woke up and then I was like, you're already wasting your time. Like, you've just started, you know, being unemployed, and already you're just sitting here wasting your time. What's wrong with you? But I kind of had to check that voice in my head and be like, hey, can you shut up? Because it's like you just said, literally it's day one. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to have like a vision board of your life all designed already. You can just enjoy it, at least like for the first week, like the first few days at the very least. I feel like I'm just torn. Like, I want to get the ball rolling on making a nice life for myself. I want to figure out the kind of person I want to be and the kind of things that I want to do. But I think I need to figure out how to do that in a way that is kind to my body and to my mind, and that won't use like fear of inaction against me. It won't be a case of you need to be doing things permanently, because if you don't, you're wasting your time, because that's not true. I forgot what the actual title for this first affirmation was, but I guess it was something about don't worry about not being productive all of the time. I'm gonna have lots and lots of free time coming up. I don't have to be productive for all of it. Maybe I'll figure out like a schedule of like time that I can allocate per day, if not per every 2 days, to really think about what I want to do and what steps I can take to achieve this. But I think in order to be happy about this part of my life, I very much need to not be hard on myself. So that's affirmation 1. Affirmation 2, I think, is quite similar. Well, I think they're all going to be quite similar, if I'm being honest, because the kind of overarching theme, I guess, is just basically don't push yourself too hard and don't be cruel to your brain while you're trying to make changes. So affirmation 2, I think, is don't think too big or you'll get scared. I think that's something that I've always done in my life, where I'll think too big about a goal and then I can't break it down into smaller goals. Or not that I can't, maybe I don't break it down into smaller goals. And then I feel overwhelmed and I give up. This chair isn't big enough for me to have both my legs on it, and I want to sit like a bisexual. So this is really annoying. Maybe over here. I don't know, possibly. So yeah, affirmation 2. I've forgotten again what I just said. What the hell was affirmation 2? Don't think too big or you'll get scared. I have thoughts on reinvention and thoughts on being a different kind of person, as we all do, especially in light of the new year happening recently. You know, we all want to make good lifestyle changes and live in different ways because we all get excited. I get excited in January. I know not that we're not supposed to, but I've heard that, I mean, for women at least, I don't know how true it is, but January apparently is not a very good time for like reinvention or introspection. It's like to do with the stars and stuff. I like to believe in that stuff like a little bit, at least. I feel like, I don't know, if the moon can affect the waves of the sea, I think it can affect the water inside us. That doesn't sound too far-fetched to me. But yeah, there are lots of things that I like the idea of. You know, I'm a digital artist. My whole life I've been drawn to digital art, no pun intended. And I've gone through lots of different like styles and different subject matter and everything, but I always come back to it, which is nice because I stepped away from it in a big way a few years ago. I just didn't know. I've been kind of making art for someone else for quite a long time, like stuff that I knew would do well but didn't really reflect what I wanted to draw. It was just what I became good at and what I knew how to do, so I kept doing it. But then obviously, as it always does, it reached a point where it was like, this doesn't bring me any joy anymore, even though it gets recognition and people like it. I don't like doing it, so I'm not gonna be inspired anymore to do it. And then I stopped making art and I just didn't know what I wanted to draw or what I wanted to create after that for like years. I was like, do I go back to drawing what I was doing before then? That doesn't feel right either. I don't know what kind of art I want to make. This is really, really hard. And then the longer you go without doing it, the worse your like skills get and you forget the fundamentals a little bit. So every time you go back to it, you feel like you're not that good. And you draw like, you know, a circle and then you throw a pen across the room because you're really stressed about how hard it is to make art now, when it used to be really easy, especially when you were like 14, 15 and you could make like 3 full like finished pieces in an evening after school because you were so full of 14-year-old energy, which now I'm 28, 14 years later, oh my God, I don't have that energy anymore, but I will have time because, like I said, I've quit my job. All I'm gonna have is time. So I think I'll have time to refocus on my art and figure out what I wanna do, which I guess links us back to the point, which is don't think too big or you'll get scared. So when I think about, you know, art and maybe making money from art or income, like passive income or anything like that, I go and watch loads of YouTube videos about lots of people, all their advice and things, which is all very helpful, and I'm so appreciative of people who make those kind of guidance videos. But I think what I do then is that I want to pursue everything. Everything they mentioned in that video, I'm like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this and this and this and this. And then it becomes immediately overwhelming. Like as soon as I've decided that I keep hitting the curtain. As soon as I've decided I want to get into it and that it's an avenue I want to pursue, I immediately get like, I guess just fatigued. I just think I can't actually be asked now that I have to do it, now that I've admitted to myself that I want to do it. But it's because I'm thinking about too much. You know, I'm thinking like, okay, I want to make prints, and then I also want to have like a Patreon, and I also want to do affiliate links. You know, I also want to do an online course, because I've got my fingers in all the pies, so to speak, mentally. I haven't actually made any steps physically towards any of those things, but mentally I'm like, okay, I want to do all of them. It just makes me want to do none of them. It just becomes immediately, I don't want to do that. And then it's like all you think about. And it's the same with like, I guess, content creation. This is only my third video, maybe fourth if I finish the other one before I post this one, but I don't know if I will. I feel like I might want to post this one first. I guess you'll know. As soon as I started making content, which was very, very recently, it was like, suddenly I found my mind permanently buzzing with not even ideas so much, but the thought that I should be having ideas. I couldn't just sit idly and enjoy my life. I had to always be thinking of a way of something to make a video about. And when I fell asleep on the sofa and I woke up, I was like, oh man, like, you just woast is not a word. You just wasted an hour of time where you could have been thinking by sleeping. And that's not a very good way to think, because I don't want to say like, oh, that was just me listening to my body, clearly she needed to sleep, because I mean that might have been the case. I did wake up a bit earlier than I should have today, so I didn't get my full 8 hours, but because of my track record of falling asleep on the sofa very, very frequently, I don't think I was that tired. I think it was just I fell asleep on the sofa. But even if that was the case, even if it wasn't my body needing the sleep, it was just a case of, oh well, I fell asleep. I don't want to feel badly about that. I don't want to sit there and be like, what a waste of time that was, because it wasn't. You know, it just happened. It's just I think a lot of life is just happening. Like, being alive is just stuff happening over and over again. Sometimes to you, sometimes with you, sometimes at you. I don't think this is as profound as it may sound in my head, but that is life. Life is just stuff happening. So if you get upset whenever anything happens, that's quite a hard life to live, I think. I've got off topic again. I've kind of gone back to point one. This is quite an unfocused video, but that's kind of what I'm feeling right now. I think I just kind of need to get these thoughts out, and that can link back a little bit to this topic of this one, this affirmation about not thinking too big, because, you know, like I just said, my brain was buzzing with the thought of, you need to think of ideas, but then this one kind of came to me when I woke up. I was being mean to myself, and I was thinking, I wrote down the list of affirmations. They're on my phone, so I can't actually look at them while I'm making this video, because my phone is recording this video. So I'm just kind of going by what I remember about what I wrote down. But as soon as I wrote them down, I thought, hey, that might be a nice kind of video idea. Maybe other people in the world might need to hear this too. So if you do need to hear this, I guess that's why you clicked here, maybe. And I hope that they help you at least a bit. So, unemployment affirmation number 2 is, don't think too big or you'll get scared. Because I know I do. I think of too many ideas, or I think I should be thinking of too many ideas, and then I get upset and annoyed and frustrated at myself for not thinking of enough ideas and not utilizing my time well enough to make these things come to fruition. And it's just not a good way of thinking. Don't think too big, you will get scared. So that's number 2. Number 3, I really don't want to check my notes app, because then I'll have to pause the recording, but I think I've already forgotten number 3. Let me have a little think. Let me think real hard about what I actually want to affirm to myself and to you. Okay, maybe number 3 should be something like, have ambition and discipline. And it needs to be something that combines being disciplined but without being hard on yourself. But number 1 was really about being too kind, like, don't be too hard on yourself. So I need to figure out a way to be like, make this a whole separate point. But will that be kind of the same? Will the subject matter be similar? I don't know. It'll be like, you know what, maybe I haven't got a name for 3. I might just keep talking about ways that I feel and see if I can like pull a title for this affirmation out of that one. So I think number 3 might be, try and stay focused. I think maybe that's it. Try and stay focused and don't spiral. Yeah, because I do have some mild ambitions. You know, I just said in the last point that I do want to do something with my art, and I do want to do something with content creation. I don't know, I want to keep making videos. I love when the cormorants fly past. You didn't see it because it's outside my window, but I did, and they are such wicked birds. Like, wicked in a good way, not evil. Yeah, stay focused. I think you need to hold yourself accountable without being mean about it. I think humans, like the human brain, is capable of setting goals and sticking to them, and not in a don't do this out of fear way, in a I'm gonna change my mindset so that I want to do this thing kind of way. So I think that might be number 3. Don't know what I'm gonna put for the subtitle there. It will figure itself out. Lots of things do actually figure themselves out if you give them enough time. Like, for the longest time, I wanted a nice rectangle mirror for my bedroom because I didn't have one. And then when I was walking on the street, I found one. So I took it home, and now I have a mirror. Maybe that's what will happen for you. Yeah, so I think linking this back to the other point, what I'm gonna need to do is I'm gonna have to like hone in on one way that I can expand my thinking on what I want to do with my art. I think what that will mean for me will be kind of going back to basics. I think really deciding what I want to do rather than thinking about doing everything. I should just pick something and really throw my energy into that, but be disciplined within myself that I'm gonna do it. Because that way I've got something to focus on. I can hold myself accountable for it without being overwhelmed or like feeling the need to be mean to myself, because it's just one thing that I need to do, and that makes it easier. This is such a messy video. I don't know if this will help anybody, but I guess at the end of the day, I'm only gonna get 9 views. So it might be more to help myself, and if you get helped along the way, you're welcome. So yeah, I think there's a red kite outside. They are so lovely. What a gorgeous bird. What in the hell was I talking about? I don't know. Stay focused, don't spiral. Pick something, make sure you have something to be working on. I think it's easy when you're unemployed to feel immediately adrift and immediately get scared because of the uncertainty. But the uncertainty is good, at least for me. You kind of need that in life every now and again. You need to shake up your schedule, your routine. Maybe not something as drastic as quitting your job, because obviously it's not realistic for some people, which is a shame. Obviously everyone should be able to quit their job when it's really, really bad, because like living for the weekend or living for the one day off you get is just barely living at all. And it sucks that we've made our society in this way. I get so mad about it. I wish everyone could quit their job permanently, forever. I think it's a bit ironic that on a point like titled Stay Focused, I keep losing my focus, but I don't know. I'm not a very focused person, which will make this point kind of hard for me to do, but I'm gonna try it anyway. So I think what I have to do is I have to go back to my computer and I need to figure out what kind of art I like to make, what kind of art I can make easily and like frequently enough that it could be something that I could do without burning out and that it brings me genuine enjoyment. That's the kind of thing I need to figure out. And then after that, I can start thinking a little bigger, but not too big or you'll get scared. Thinking a little bigger about what I can do with my artworks and what I want to do with them, I guess, really. I think that's about it for number 3. None of this is too extreme or too in depth, I don't think. It's really just like an overview of how I'm going to deal with unemployment and the steps that I'm going to take to try and have a really good time if I can. You know, like I said earlier, that lack of routine suits me quite nicely. I really do like waking up and thinking, wow, what am I going to do today? Obviously, there's bad days. There's always bad days. Sometimes you wake up and you think, I don't want to do anything today. I don't even want to watch shit TV. All I want to do is like lay in my bed and watch Instagram Reels. I'm not saying you should always give in to that feeling, because sometimes you do need discipline to deal with it. But sometimes you just fucking do it. Like, you just lay in bed and don't get up for like 5 hours. I haven't had one of those days in a while because I've been working, but who knows? They might creep back in now that I'm unemployed. I don't know, but I'm going to be kind to myself like I said I would be. And if, I'm going to do my best and not have days that make me feel bad about myself. But if I'm already feeling bad about myself, I'm going to try and not make it worse, because who does that benefit? It doesn't benefit me. So why the fuck would I do that? Are we at 4? Did I make one for 4? So number 3 was stay focused, and I forgot what the second part of stay focused was. I think number 4, if I haven't already said what it is just kind of lifestyle based. I think it's like there are a few lifestyle changes I'd like to make. Now I'm unemployed, I've kind of got the time to, like, I'd love to have a quite consistent workout routine, because at my old job I was walking like 15,000 steps a day, and I think that kept me quite healthy. And the idea of, you know, not having that like stability makes me feel a bit like I need to replace that with something, because I would like to stay healthy for the sake of my body and my mind. So I need to find something to fill that gap. I'd also like to eat better now that I've been given the chance, because at my job I'd eat like a cereal bar and smoke 2 cigarettes, and that would be like breakfast from like 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then I would get home and eat whatever was in my fridge, and it just wasn't a healthy way to live. So I think I might also quit smoking. I think because I did quit previously, and then when I started the job it was fine, but in like the last 4 months of it I kind of took it up again, because I just needed something to stop me from like ending it. But I do think the temptation is just not there anymore now that I mean obviously it's day 1, but like, you know, I think it's coming up to like 4 p.m. and usually by this time in the day I would have smoked at least 4 cigarettes, and I haven't even had the craving today because I'm here in my own house, and it's like, you know, I don't need to or want to. I'm not stressed out about anything. I'm very content. So yeah, I might quit smoking, I think. So I want to have a consistent workout routine, quit smoking, eat healthier, and is there anything? I mean, that's kind of like a very specific kind of lifestyle. Maybe affirmation 4 is like take small steps to living the life you want. I think that makes me happy, I think. So I guess I'll keep telling you what I want from life, and then what I'll need to do is figure out small ways to make them happen. So yeah, those 3 things I just said. I'd also like to become less sensitive, because that's why I went to therapy to talk about, I mean, amongst other things, but I'm a really sensitive person, like overly. Like as soon as I went into therapy, and my lovely therapist was like, so, you know, we had like a brief conversation, what do you know, over email, but what is it that you like want from this? And I just started crying. I was just like, because that's me. I can't have any kind of emotional conversation without crying. And it's really frustrating because I feel like it properly undermines anything I'm trying to say. If it's something I'm really passionate about and I want to come across as like educated and interested in a subject, but as soon as I start talking, I just start tears running down my face. It just makes me feel silly. I'd love to see it as like a strength, you know, to be so vulnerable, but it's just frustrating. So I would love to not cry so much. That doesn't have much to do with unemployment. But I guess if I'm talking about being, you know, the woman that I want to be, that's something. I don't think it's a weakness. I think being able to cry and being able to be vulnerable are very good things. I'm glad I can do it. I just wish I didn't do it all the time. So for 4, my 4th affirmation is just, I guess 4 is not so much an affirmation as it is a goal, and the goal itself is to set small goals to achieve your big goals. So with wanting to eat better and work out and stuff, I had to figure out ways that I could make it so I could do a workout, you know, every other day or whatever, without immediately being like, okay, you have to join the gym, you have to get a PT, you know, you need to go and figure it all out right now. Because honestly, if I just go and do 10 push-ups today, then it's like, good job, you did better than not doing any push-ups. So I think maybe that's what number 4 is really about. It's about, I think I read somewhere or heard someone say once, like, if anything's worth doing, it's worth doing badly. And I think that, as quite an all or nothing girly, that kind of resonated with me, in terms of, you don't have to do it perfectly to do it, just do it. Like, don't do a full workout if you don't want to, but if you do 10 push-ups and like 8 bicep curls, then you've done better than nothing. Even if it doesn't do anything for your body, for your mind, you feel better about yourself for having done something. So when I finish this video, I'm gonna do my silly little workout that I've been doing for I haven't been doing it, that's the thing. I started it years ago. I've been doing it on and off. I did it in January, and then I kind of fell off for the whole of February, and I haven't been doing it. And I've been using work as an excuse to be like, oh, I'm too tired from work, but now I've got no excuse, so I'm just going to do it. I'm gonna feel good about myself afterwards. I'm so sorry how this has not been very concise. It hasn't been very targeted. It hasn't been very clean. I think even once I edit it, it's still gonna be a mess. But I don't know, I think I just wanted to talk. I just wanted to talk about ways that I'm gonna make myself feel like a human during my unemployment, ways I'm gonna be kind to myself, I'm gonna set goals, I'm gonna figure out what I wanna do with my life, not on a massive scale because that's too scary, but I'm gonna figure out what kind of person I wanna be and what I wanna do. I think it's time for some real big introspection for me, and I'm excited. I'm really, really excited about what life can be for me now. But I think it's just so important to not think too big and not try and make it all happen at once overnight, because that's just ridiculous. It's not, everyone's in love with the idea of like reinvention overnight, you know, rebranding yourself. I've seen so many videos, like so many thumbnails about like, you know, your 2026 glow up and becoming the person you want to be, your rebrand, all of that. But there's only one that resonated with me that strongly, which I think I will link. I'm really annoyed that I don't remember the name of the lady or the name of the video, but I guess I can just like put it here. It was about making small habits that will lead to big changes, which I guess is kind of like what affirmation number 4 was, so it must have really resonated with me. Yeah, I too love the idea of reinvention and rebranding. I want to be, you know, a bad bitch that takes no shit from people, but I'm not. I'm soft, I'm squishy, I'm sensitive, I'm a bit of a pushover. I'm too nice for my own good a lot of the time, and I should speak up more, but I can't overnight forget those things that I've, you know, drilled into my brain for the last 28 years of my life. It's not going to happen, but you can take small steps to changing, you know, to being a person that you want to be. All it is fake it till you make it. I've watched so many videos that say that, and it's so true. But that's what's hard. No one wants to actually put the effort in and do the things that scare you, because that's leaving your comfort zone, and you're comfortable in your comfort zone. That's why they call it your comfort zone. It's very comfortable here. You've got your favorite drink and a nice snack, and your favorite movie is playing. You love your comfort zone. I love my comfort zone. But in order for me to be the person that I'd like to be, I'm gonna have to step out of it at least a little bit. And that terrifies me, but it also really, really excites me. And not being at work is gonna give me space to do that. And that is so, so exciting. And that's why I'm actually so excited to be unemployed. I'm so excited to see what the world has in store for me now. So yeah, if you made it this far through my mad ramblings, thank you very much. I appreciate you sticking around and listening to me talk at you. And I'm gonna go do my workout now, even though I really, really don't want to, because sometimes you have to hold yourself accountable. You have to do the thing you don't want to do in order to become the person you want to be. And I want to have really strong arms. Like I want to be like, wearing a long sleeve shirt. I was gonna show off my tattoos and be like, my arms are so cool, but they'd be way cooler if I had like really strong like biceps. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get really strong biceps. I'm not gonna do it overnight. I'm not gonna do it by making myself stick to a ridiculous workout routine that I will hate and not stick to. I will start small. I will do the push-ups and the bicep curls and the tricep dips, like a small amount of them in the comfort of my own home. And when I feel like I'm consistent enough with that, I'll level up. I'll do something different. Yeah. Be kind to yourself all the time. I'm not saying let yourself do whatever you want, because that's not real kindness. That's enabling. But treat yourself with care, because this world is so fucked up, and it's only like, I don't want to say it's only getting worse, because I mean it's not. On a massive scale it is, but on like the day-to-day with you and your friends and your life, you know, appreciate that. Appreciate your friends, appreciate the good times. Live your life as forgivingly as you can to yourself. Please be kind to yourself. You know, at the end of the day, you're all you have. So treat yourself with that love and care that you'd show to all of your friends. Goodbye.